It is the first Big 12 top 10 matchup we have seen since the Big 12 championship game between Oklahoma State and Baylor in 2021. And it is here in Lubbock, Texas, as the unbeaten BYU Cougars take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders. It is 7 versus 8. 8 is a 10.5 point favorite at home. Or, yeah, 10.5 point favorite at home over the Cougars. And I gotta say, that is awfully generous to only have it at 10.5. Now, I get Texas Tech. They slipped up against Arizona State. It's okay. It happens. They are just fine now. Since that loss, they have rattled off 42-0 over Oklahoma State, 43-20 over Kansas State. They went up to Utah and beat the dog crap out of them, 34-10. That is a big number, and it's not big enough to really explain how much of a blowout it really was. Right before the game, I was like, oh, Utah's going to win this game. It's going to be a close fight, but I think Utah's going to win. And about 5 minutes into that game, I was like, oh, I was so wrong. But, I got a little thing in my heart for Utah. I really like Kyle Whittingham. I like what he's done, like what he's doing. And, Texas Tech at that point, we were like, yeah, they got a lot of hype, but I mean, see when we get there. Well, we got there. And they have shown, Texas Tech has shown to be the best team in the Big 12. And I get BYU unbeaten. They beat Utah as well in a close battle in the Holy War. But you look at who they have played. Yes, Utah. Yeah, Iowa State in Ames, a very tough team. And they pretty much laid the wood down on them. BYU, and I kind of use this for the Big Ten when talking about teams like this. BYU is Big 12 good. I don't think they're nationally good. Texas Tech, on the other hand, I think they can run with some horses. They can. I think that they can. They may not be able to compete with the Ohio States or the Alabamas or the Indianas, because I think those three have just completely separated themselves. But I do think they can run with a Texas A&M. They can definitely run with a Texas, Michigan, and Oregon. I mean, they are. If we're talking about go with like a championship sports car, and all the teams are packed in that can win a championship. And you have Ohio State in the driver's seat. You have Alabama in the passenger seat. You have Indiana sitting in the back seat. And then you got teams that are like, they're not really in the car, but they're like hanging on for dear life. And I think Texas Tech, they're not so much holding on to the car, but they're holding on to Oregon, who is holding on to the car. If that makes any sense. But nonetheless, and then BYU, they're just on the side of the road trying to figure out where the hell they are. I mean, they have an incredible story going on. Everything that's happened in the off season with the quarterback that was supposed to be there, and then you got this true freshman Bear Brockemeyer. I mean, he's playing very, very well, but he hasn't seen a defense like Texas Tech. He hasn't seen BYU hasn't seen an offense like Texas Tech. I mean, I had Texas Tech winning this game, but that game against Utah. Oh, jeez. Oh, shows how much I was paying attention last week. I thought Texas Tech played. I thought Texas Tech played Cincinnati. Oh, Jesus. Oh, my. I really shouldn't be recording these videos so late. But nonetheless. Yeah, as much as I would love to say, like, this is going to go down as, like, one of the best games in the history of football, and it's going to be a back-and-forth battle, and it's just going to be bob and weave and back and forth, and it's not. Texas Tech is going to turn the Jets on, and BYU is going to be in scramble mode trying to hang on, and BYU is just simply not going to be able to keep up. You look at Texas Tech's worst game against Arizona State. They scored 22 points. That is the only time they were ever held to less than 30 points the entire season. 67, 62, 45, 34, 35, 42, 42, 43. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of points. And you know, they had one blip in Tempe. It happens. Sometimes you're feeling yourself. You go in, and you have a team that is well coached with a veteran quarterback and Sam Levitt, and you just have the perfect formula for a disaster. And that's just what happened. And it's fine. It's all good. It's all good. No need to worry. No need to get the panties in a bunch. Now, when you look at the whole stats as a team, look at the offensive leaders, yards per game. Texas Tech, 492 yards a game. Look over on the defensive side. Points allowed. Number 5, Tech, 13.2 points per game. I mean, go to yards allowed. Texas Tech, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're in the top 10. Just barely, but nonetheless. 271 yards a game. Top 10 in the country on offense and defense. BYU, where do they stack up? they are allowing 318 yards per game. And the offenses that they've seen are not blow your doors off incredible. I mean, looking at Portland State, Stanford, East Carolina, Colorado, West Virginia, Arizona, and then you have the two actually good offenses, and, well, depending on how good Dampier plays, but Utah, and I think Rocco Beck was hurt by that point, and they still gave up 27. I believe it's Rocco, or I believe Rocco is out here, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, he did play in this game. Oh, he just played like crap. Okay. All right. But, yeah. Nonetheless, still more points than Tech has ever given up in a game this year. And like I said, they're not playing world-beating offenses. And they're still giving up a whole whole lot more yards. Let's take a look at the offense. Let's see, where are the Cougars on offense? Still a ways down, 433 to Texas Tech's 492. I mean, you can look at, I just don't see where BYU can continue this phenomenal little story that they're on. Now, the college football nerds know how much I love using their little model. BYU, Texas Tech. 30-19, so they actually have BYU covering the 10.5 by a half. Or, no. They have Texas Tech covering the 10.5 by a half. I should probably learn to math. But yeah, BYU rushing, they're going to get stuffed. And their passing defense is going to get torched. Texas Tech, they can move the ball, land, air, and sea. And they can stop any offense upon them, land, air, and sea. And, if Brockemeyer, if he had another year under his belt, if this was sophomore year, given how he's been playing, then I would say maybe BYU would be able to pull off this upset. Or if it was or if it was at BYU, I would say, you know what? There's a chance. Got a shot. But Brockmeyer, or Brockmeyer, he's a freshman. And it's in Lubbock. And Lubbock is a madhouse. It is a very underrated environment in college football. And come high noon on ABC, you're going to find out just truly how tough it is to play there. I mean, you can kind of see it there. There ain't much sideline. Fans are on top of you. Not quite as on top of you as Oklahoma State. Still very much on top. And the Texas Tech fans haven't had this type of big game feel since Texas Tech welcome in the Longhorns with Colt McCoy, the #1 team in the country at the time, for Michael Crabtree to stamp his name in the history books and upset the Longhorns with an incredible catch in the closing seconds. we're getting that environment at high noon Eastern time. Give me Texas Tech. You can take the 10.5. Don't care. Texas Tech is going to win this game, and it's not going to be close. Wish I could say this was going to be a great game. I wish I could say that it's going to have that same type of down to the wire, just all captivating finish, but it is not. Texas Tech's gonna run away with it. They've seen their own blood, and they've been seeing red ever since. They have given up 26 points. They've given up 20 points in the last 2 games. All of it was against Kansas State, who's got a pretty decent quarterback. And Avery Johnson, I think his name is Avery Johnson. Yes. God, I love his hair. Got such beautiful hair. I wish I could grow that kind of hair. Anyway. But yeah, give me Texas Tech. This is going to be 17 to 20 point game. Going to be a lot of hype. It's kind of like how I described the Pacquiao Mayweather fight. $1 billion hype, but the fight is only going to be worth about $10, if that. Give me the Raiders. It ain't going to be close. And, never thought I'd say give me the Raiders. Obviously, this one is Texas Tech Red Raiders, but, it is what it is, I guess. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next one.